Welcome everyone, and I'm your mini tutor here, back with another quick tutorial on computer science. Today we'll be talking about nested while and for loops in Java. A nested loop is a loop with another loop within the code block that loops a certain amount of times each time the outer loop loops once. So for example, if the inner loop loops 3 times and the outer loop loops 3 times, the inner loop will loop a grand total of 9 times, as it loops 3 times for each outer loop. Nested loops are great for creating and working with grids. A grid is something that has a certain number of columns and rows, and nested loops make it really simple to print a custom loop that you can change as you like in a few clicks. So grids work with both while and for loops. So first I'll show you a 3x3 grid of A's using a for loop. So we will have for I equals 0, I less than 3, which is the number of rows, and I plus plus. Now for the columns, we have for int j equals 0. This variable must be different than the one in the outer loop, and then j is less than 3 for the columns and j plus plus. Now we need one line of code for the inner loop's code block, which is system.out.print, and in quotations the letter A and a space. Then after the inner loop, we will write system.out.println empty, as we need it to just move to the next line. Now if I run this, and as you can see, a 3x3 grid of A's is created. Now repeating the process with a while loop, we'll have int I equals 0, and then while I is less than 3 for the rows, and then int j equals 0, and then an inner while loop with j is less than 3 for the columns. And then again the same code block as the for loop, and again after the second while loop is a system.out.println empty. Now as you can see, the variable j is reset after each time the inner loop finishes looping, so that for each outer loop the inner loop can loop the correct number of times. Now the useful part of using nested loops is that they can be easily manipulated. So let's say you wanted a 3x4 loop instead. All you have to do is change the j is less than 3 into a j is less than 4 for both loops, and the grid works. Similarly, if you want a 4x3 instead, you have to change I is less than 3 into I is less than 4, and it works as intended. Nested loops are really useful in multiple situations and important to learn. Thank you for watching today's video, and remember, keep learning, even if it's a few minutes a day.